are 3HL on the road. We are floating right now.
Yes.
At Twin Creeks Marina, and we are
Can we
excited
be on the road
to be out
like
here.
this every day, please?
I mean,
sitting on a lake.
we're at Tim's Ford Lake. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. They've got everything you need down here, and here's the beautiful part. If you're looking for like a getaway type deal, they've got you covered, and just a little more than an hour from Nashville, Twin Creeks Marina. TwinCreeksTN.com is the website. TwinCreeksTN.com. They've got everything you need. Nashville's Hidden Lake Getaway in Winchester, Tennessee. Philip Fulmer's from here. Jeff Hall, who kicked some pretty big field goals for the University of Tennessee, is from here. And I actually passed Fulmer Auto Body or something. I don't know if it's, somewhat related to Philip, but probably. We were on Philip Fulmer Parkway, though.
Yes, we were. And
super pretty out.
let me just say, first of all, I'm in the building, and on the water.
You're on the water. You're on the water.
This is what I want to say. Bab said, could we be out here more often, like a lot? The only problem with that is I'm looking at the jungle boat, and at any moment during the broadcast, I could just go do a cannonball, and be fine with it. Whatever happens, just be cold when I get out with my wet clothes and everything. But
And then the mama anxiety portion of Dawn is looking at those trampolines that are on the second deck of this boat
Yes.
to jump on and then jump into the water. And I'm like, oh, no.
don't go too far. Don't go too far. Hey, man, this is a really, really, really great atmosphere. I'm telling you. The food is phenomenal. We got it sitting in front of us.
Yeah, what'd you get?
I wonder could the people guess what I got?
Like, that's
tweet it.
hard.
Tweet us
Like,
what
it's
Ron got.
Yeah, tell me, what you guys think that I got? That's the question.
What does he live off of?
I got quesadillas along with something else.
Drafts and Watercrafts is the restaurant. That's where we are. We're outside today, which is awesome. Will Bowling is here doing the digital content and video feed. So if you're watching Zone TV, you can thank Will Bowling because we love him so much.
Mm-hmm. You can see him over my right shoulder.
And I think he's nervously paying attention to Braves games. But he's got a waterfront view looking at a bunch of boats. They've added a bunch of slips here, and they've got everything you need. Twin Creeks Village is like a residential home site deal over there. If you're looking for, I would say if you're looking for a second home, but they just sold them all. So 500 home
They have
sites.
townhomes over there that you can rent.
True.
So you can rent out for the week. They are building these cottages right on the lake that they're going to start renting out in June and July. I think they're going to have like 6 in June or six
in July,
more
yep.
in July. So, yeah.
Right on the water with a dock. And, I mean, it's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. 4-bedroom little cottages overlooking the water. Yeah. 228 boat slips, 26-foot boat slips, and then 80 32-foot boat slips.
Love it.
There's plenty of space out here. Come on out.
Please come on out here.
We'll tell you more about it as we roll through the show. But again, you can check it out online while you listen. TwinCreeksTN.com is where you get that done. Tons going on. I will say this: my wife threw her client party last night, just kind of celebrating the people that entrust her with her real estate stuff.
Moving with Kelly.
But we had a great time, and Leanne Morgan was the comedian, and she performed last night. She was phenomenal, and if you haven't seen her, you need to check her out all over YouTube and things like that. But we had a chance to meet her, and she obviously knew that Ron went to the University of Tennessee and had an interesting question for him.
Yeah, yes, she did, and that I don't do it. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So when I turned around and Brent was like, yeah, we got Ron Slay over here. She said, Ron Slay? And I turned around like, hey, how you doing? And her first thing was, now, wait a minute. Did I sleep with you when you was in school? I said, well, if you're talking about the Bernie Ernie era, you know what I mean? Maybe. But she said, oh, no, that's all right. You're a baby. Yeah. I saw my lady over there. I was like, do you guys got kids? So, man, very, very entertaining. Like, it's hard.
Funny.
Yeah, it's hard to keep my attention, because I sometimes think I've heard it all when it comes to jokes. But she was spot on. Like, I loved every minute of it. So
yeah, check her out. We're going to try to get her on the show at some point. She's like, nobody wants to hear from me on your show talking sports. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you played high school basketball.
Right. Yes, we do.
So anyway, but the reason why I said that is the Titans schedule came out and we were all talking about it at that party. And man, when I saw that schedule, dude, I was like, this looks hard, man.
I thought it did too. And then
you knew the teams, but the way that it ordered out was really tough, I think.
Well, and once you knew the teams, but once you just sit down and kind of dive into the teams and you look at, okay, here's your quarterback for the opponents, here's the weapons they have. Once you kind of dive into it, then you're like, wait, because you see all of these, post-schedule release analysis, and it's like strength of schedule, and the Titans apparently have the 7th easiest, right?
Right.
By a lot of accounts, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Well, it's funny because it went from 7th easiest to 13th most difficult. So I don't even know like how that happened, but based on win percentage from last year, so they have 8 games against playoff teams from last year.
Yeah.
8, half the schedule. Well, more than 17 weeks. Can I just go ahead and bitch about that?
Yeah, because I hate no symmetry. I hate it.
That's it right there.
I can't handle
because
it.
I want more football. I live for more football.
You love it, every bit of it.
But it needs to be even. The odd thing is driving me crazy. Like, it's throwing me completely off. And I heard Mike Keith talking
right now.
I heard Mike Keith talking about, there's 3 preseason games and 17 regular season games, and it's kind of throwing me off. And I'm like, I'm right there with you.
You're talking to me, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know why, but we need to get to 18. That's where I am.
Yeah.
Need to get to 18.
Add another one. I think the players might go bananas. You add one more game.
Get ready. Get ready.
Our guy Ramon Foster
is coming.
Listening, and I'm sure we're about to get just a barrage of texts real quick.
Doubt.
I mean, what did Ramon really do, though?
Schedule.
Like, he'd stand up and put his arms out. I mean,
know,
how hard
right?
is that?
Like offensive linemen.
Yeah, that ain't nothing. Yeah,
I mean, are they? They're not even in shape.
Man, they don't do nothing, man.
No,
Folks don't do nothing. They just protect the most expensive guy on the team. That's all. But it's really nothing.
They're just the one that is absolutely blamed no matter what for poor quarterback play.
I love you, Ramon. I'm just kidding. Those are jokes.
Should have been there last night,
Ramon's probably on his Peloton right now.
Yeah,
you got on today, and you said you were sweating out vodka,
dude. So I made it a mission. I'm gonna just start jumping on every morning and riding when Ramon and J Mart are on, so I can catch them.
Yep.
This morning was a little bit different because moving with Kelly took place, and I tell you what, man, an open bar and a big sleigh. Oh, that combination right there, boy, is something else. And the sliders. The barbecue sliders.
Here's the thing. When you throw a party, you never get to eat. I didn't have one. I didn't even know what the food was. I didn't have any of it.
So bad for you.
I did manage to get like one drink toward the end and then another one toward the end. So I had 2 drinks.
Man, I ate for both of us. I had 7 sliders and went back for 4 more. Yeah. I went back for 4 more, and I figured out at the end I should have just hung out by the sliders.
Yeah.
Instead of hanging out by the bar. You know what I mean?
That's a toss-up there. I mean,
and we're kind of going all over the place today, and which is usual for the show. Although somebody called Blaine and Mickey and said we were talking about ice cream or something, and that wasn't us. I don't know what. Like he was bitching about, you guys talk football, and this other show just talks about ice cream, and I
what?
It wasn't us. Like I don't know, but if somebody's talking about ice cream, I'm in because I love ice cream.
Me too. And like I have,
Jesus.
Man, listen, I go down a list of what I like. I like the old school brown cow. I like the ice cream sandwiches. I like the Neapolitan.
Are you a chocolate or vanilla guy though? Baseline. See, now we're talking about ice cream to that guy that hated the ice cream.
Yeah, I'm a vanilla guy. I mean, it's not in the question. You a chocolate guy?
Oh, I love chocolate. I can't stand vanilla.
I can't do that, Brent.
Yeah, no.
I gotta have vanilla. Vanilla goes with everything. Chocolate chip cookies, Oreos. It goes with.
To break up the party, but there's somebody on the line that wants to talk to you guys.
Uh-oh.
And he may or may not have just mentioned him a few seconds.
Is it Shaquille Sunflower?
I'm just gonna play.
The hunk. Who you got, man?
Yep.
Hey, if y'all ever get on these airways again and slander offensive linemen the way you just did, I'm telling you, I'm paying for every tow truck in the city to come find your cars. I'm finding your children's cars, your significant other cars, and we're going to have a grand old time if y'all talk about offensive linemen like that again.
I would have preferred to see you play running back, Ramon, honestly.
My guy come downhill. He just ain't going to be low. He'll come downhill, though.
All in love, my friend. We love you, brother.
No doubt. Y'all say that until Tannehill is on his back, okay?
Yeah.
That's true.
Think about that Ron and Don. That's all I'm saying. And I'm out, man. Watch your mouth about offensive linemen, guys. I'm sensitive about us.
There he is, Ramon Foster. J. Martin Ramon, 6 to 10 weekdays on 104.5 The Zone.
Now on cue.
Knew that was
On
coming.
cue. I told him, though, Mo, guess what? I gave you props, man. I said you don't do much. You just protect the most expensive guy on the team. That's it.
He's off.
So, yeah,
Yep.
it's cool to honk.
By the way, Slay's order, wings.
Yeah. I got 8, and I'm 4 in the hole right now.
What else did you get?
I got chicken quesadillas.
What I just want to, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just want to,
2 meals.
I want to share what a teammate Ron Slay is because we had this argument. I think it was during a break this past week.
Sure did.
Where Brent was like, don't ask for something of my food, just order your own.
Yeah.
And I had the argument of, well, sometimes maybe we just want a bite of your food. We
Yeah.
don't want to order the entire thing. And both of these
So what
guys
happened?
just came at me
Yeah,
on
we
this.
were supposed to.
It doesn't matter. Order your own dang food. Blah, blah, blah. So Ron's wings come out, and I'm like, hey, yo, Slay, can I get one? He's like,
Yeah, I had to give it a look
all
first.
right.
Like, yeah, Don.
all
you
right,
get one.
Babs. So there you go. There's your teammate right there.
I tell you
Solid.
what, man, it's difficult for me to share, and everybody knows that.
I only asked because you got quesadillas and wings. If
Yeah.
you just got wings, I wouldn't have asked.
By the way, we'll get into the Titans schedule when we come back. If you want to jump in,
Here we go with Titans.
we've been talking about it all day on this radio station for sure, and we want to get your take on it. What do you think? Going in, you knew all the teams. Now that you see the order, are you a little nervous like I am? 615-737-1045. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, and there he is, Ron Slay. He is in the building
Definitely.
and outside the building all at the same time at Twin Creeks Marina, twincreekstn.com. restaurant. It's
Yes, we are.
huge. And they brought this thing on the water, like 100 miles or something, they said.
Really? Now, I didn't grow up on the water. I'm not a water baby.
Yeah, but you've turned into a water guy.
Yes, I have. Now, I was just going to ask, this seems very kid-friendly. Are all marinas and stuff like this? Or you just
I don't know, but this one sure is. As Dawn said, you got that trampoline thing over there. I mean, what's that thing called? The jungle.
That's the jungle
boat. The floating trampoline. You can jump off like 80 different places of that thing.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. It's so tempting. And the Will just said he's taking on bets how much it'll take to send him into the water. So I'm probably going to put about $50, $55 on the table to see Will do a cannonball.
Ooh, can we really make that happen?
Off the jungle boat, yeah.
Oh, he said yes.
I told you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, so.
Here's the problem, Will. You got to get out.
Yes.
And there's a little breeze. And
the breeze is coming.
And it's not like it's 95 out here.
Exactly.
So, yeah, check them out. They've got home sites. They've got cabins that they're building.
This is a beautiful weekend giveaway.
New boat slips. You can rent anything.
Yep.
On Slipaway. Slipaway Lane.
Slay got on the water one time. Woke up like a day and a half later.
Man, that's what I should have. When Ramon just called in, we should have asked him about that. My first time on a boat. 4th of July, 2000. When did Ramon finish? 11? 10? Somewhere around there. I think it was like 9 or 10. 4th of July, I'm out there. Me, Bobby Graham, his wife Emily, and a couple of more guys.
Former Tennessee receiver.
Having a blast out there on the water.
And what did I say before you even finished the story? I go, the beer hits you different.
Yes,
on the boat.
And I try to explain it to everybody, and everybody that's never been on a boat.
Alley,
oh
too.
my gosh, it's like so. Two things that came out of it. I didn't know how you're supposed to use the restroom when you're on the boat, and they told me just dive in the water.
Yeah, it's just like
I said,
the
do
ocean.
what? Jump in the water and just start using it on yourself? It was like, yeah. So I held it for like 45 minutes till my bladder was going to bust. And I was like, okay, I got to do it. So therefore, when I do that, I start drinking more. And it's really on. So we out there probably about 8 hours. I'm not realizing what's going on. But when I got off that water and got in the truck on the way home, I laid in the living room floor for at least a day and a half. At least a day and a half. Ramon was walking around me, and I could feel him. I just couldn't open my eyes and see him. So he covered me up and everything, put Martin on the DVD Martin TV series. And I stayed there for a day and a half. I thought I had alcohol poisoning, but it wasn't. It wasn't a sick feeling. It was just like I can't move feeling.
You said Ramon put a cover over you.
Yeah, he put a blanket on me. Just like, man, he just covered his scene up. Nobody worry about it.
Here's your water. Here's the straw.
I could feel it, man. I'm telling you, it was amazing. 4th of July. I would never forget it. And I love boats ever since then.
So, Mayor of Jolton thought you said Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown was on the boat with you?
Bobby.
It's Bobby Graham.
It was Bobby Graham on the boat with me, man, who's really known for catching the pass against Memphis to keeping the season alive.
Bobby Brown on the boat would be fun, though.
Man, Bobby Brown. And that ghost. He better bring that ghost. That ghost just mounting people all over the boat, mounting the fish.
I mean, if you miss any part of the show, that's on you. Just listen to everything.
Gotta catch up every day, Monday to Friday, 3 to 6. Gotta catch it. You don't
GPR Guru says butter pecan ice cream. I was never into that.
I wasn't. I'm not all into them different kind of flavors. So give me old school classic flavors: vanilla, chocolate, strawberry.
Cookies and cream, chocolate chip cookie
That's
dough. I'm
different.
all in.
Cookies
That's
and cream
different.
is my literal favorite.
That's the OG.
That's my
That's the OG.
favorite.
Yeah.
Mint chocolate chip. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my wife's
okay,
favorite.
Let's stop talking. Stick to sports guy is
Hang on,
about
ice
to
cream bar
lose
now.
it.
Hang on, one more thing.
Good Lord.
Because you know I'm real concerned with that guy.
I know you are.
Chris, I remember in high school during a lineman meeting, they brought over the quarterbacks and running backs. One of the coaches looked at them and said, make friends with the linemen. They are what decides if you have a good game or a bad game.
Facts. And what would be equivalent to that is in basketball, make
Point
friends
guard?
with your point guards. You better take care of your power forwards and your centers. Because anybody pressing you 94 feet, I used to tell C.J. Watson, hey, man, I'm standing at half court, come 100 miles per hour. I'm going to knock this dude cranium off.
Like Fulkerson against Florida.
Yeah.
Which probably led to the elbows.
You were right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you were right. But before this was legal.
When you would do that, would people try to get you back at some point?
Yeah, but I started doing it so much, like they would get mad at their teammates
For not yelling?
Guards, he'd be like, dude, I told you, you seen it on film and hitting the people in there. And I just be like, man, I told you should have said something. I said, you got to get them, dog. He ain't even called a screen now. You just getting unless you get killed out here, you know. So I egg it on, you know, but that was my thing.
I
just
love
like
it.
when the schedule came out.
So
the schedule.
when you look at the schedule, like, is there a favorite element to the schedule for you? For me, it's so the 3 primetime games. I heard you guys talking yesterday. Slay was hoping for 4. It felt like it might be 3.
I'm going to get 4.
You may end up with 4, honestly.
Tell that to Babs.
Might happen. But I said it doesn't count if it does happen.
It does count.
Thank
No, it's
you,
not
Brent.
initial.
What do you mean? You won't give this man
You won't give me
anything, man.
Well, I'm when I'm out here, I'm telling you people.
You're
when
just
I'm out
taking
here,
his
I'm earning
wings, not giving him credit for his 35%.
it. I'm out here earning it, boy. I am earning it from Babs. I'm telling you right now, man. It is real out here. What jumped off the screen to me?
My favorite element to this schedule is the Sunday nighter. You know, Monday Night Football when we were all kids was the thing. That was like the greatest event in sports. And to me, it's turned into the Sunday Night Football game. And so to have the Titans playing in LA against the Rams on a Sunday nighter, I'm really looking forward to that. But honestly, I think
but that stands out to me as also a negative because you're at LA for a 7:20 start on Sunday, and that totally screws you.
I'm not saying it's not going
for
to be
the
hard.
next week, and then you have New Orleans at home.
Well,
they've got tough stretches. Just as a fan, though, watching that on a Sunday night, I love it. I also love the fact that they start with the Cardinals, and we talked about this a little bit the other day. But Titans, Arizona Cardinals to start the season. Kyler Murray coming into Nissan Stadium. I'm really looking forward to that. All those weapons. I've seen the Titans all from 3.5 to 2, just kind of depending on where you look.
I think last time I looked, I saw 2.5. Yeah,
Boy,
Titans by 2.5. Yeah.
There is no way in hell I'd put any money on the Titans.
No.
2 to 2.5 to 3 to 3.5 against the Cardinals. Not in week 1.
That's
going to be a challenge.
And you don't know. We have no idea what this defense is going to look like on the field together. Is it going to take them a little bit of time to develop chemistry? Could.
Yeah.
Now maybe that's developed in the preseason, and you get to see a little bit of it in some of these preseason games. But man.
I mean,
it's out of the gate. Hey, all these changes, J-Rob and Vrabel and this franchise did on that side of the ball, we're about to find out real quick how they look.
Yeah, especially with a guy like Kyler Murray back there running around. How much can you contain? How much can you flush him? How much can you keep him off balance? Like, it's going to be tough. But,
right, because if you give him 7-8 seconds, you're giving DeAndre Hopkins 7-8 seconds.
Exactly.
You're giving A.J. Green 7-8 seconds. That's gonna be tough.
Kirk, who can take the top off. Yep.
The reason why I love it, though, is because that's week 1. So that's the game we'll all be, like, circling and counting down and all that stuff. And it's against an explosive offense team with young players and maybe the best receiver in the game now. And it gives you something to chew on. You know what I mean? And from a fan perspective, like, that's kind of an exciting game because it's also against a team you hardly ever play, right? Like, so – I'm really looking forward to that. Now,
I totally agree.
8 games against teams that were in the playoffs last year.
You know what? I like that. I like that. I think
the competitor in you, former athlete in you, likes that.
Let's get after every. I don't want to play Houston or Jacksonville every single week. Give me the shot. That was a shot. So.
I mean, you got to be honestly. You got to be with this schedule. You got to be 4-0 in those games.
Yes, you do.
And you have to at least split the Colts. So that's 5-1.
You got to handle business, man. So it's no all. And then outside of this, even though where they rank the schedule, there is no easy game. You know, it really is any given Sunday. And looking at it, this is tough, man. Them first 4, you don't know what you're gonna get from the Jets. You know what I mean? But you know, you got guys like Corey Davis that's gonna try to line up and smack some guys in the mouth, but. Tell you what, man, this is it. The one that sticks out to me also, the back-to-back with Buffalo and Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. That Buffalo. Now, here's the plus is both of those games are at home.
Exactly. That's
right?
true. Yep.
But a Monday night football game, is going to be physical and emotional and probably, a pretty important game.
Right.
against Buffalo on Monday night. This city is going to be jacked for that.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden on a really short work week, you got to turn around and play Kansas City.
Yeah.
Like that hey, great. That was a great Buffalo game. Here's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, take
Let's
this one
go.
too, yeah.
Oh, and by the way, your week is like completely short.
Yes.
Yes. I think that's rough. The silver lining is that they're both at home.
That is the best thing.
So you're not traveling, at least.
And you're talking about testing the defense.
Right.
Ooh, nicks and bruises. By that time, you're rolling in the season. It could be tough.
Yeah.
It could be tough.
Well, I mean, to add to that Bills-Chiefs leads them into 5 straight games against playoff teams. So you've got the Bills October 18th, then the Chiefs, as you mentioned, October 24th. Then you've got, so short rest there.
Mm-hmm.
October 31st at Indianapolis, November 7th at the Rams on Sunday night, and then that November 14th game against the Saints. So 5 in a row against teams that were in the playoffs last year.
And that's the meat of the schedule.
Now, let me ask you this. You mentioned the at Indianapolis. That's the second time you play the Colts already. At that point in the season, you're done with a division team, the Colts, on October 31st.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, because at that point,
it could be great. It could be really bad.
You don't want to be coming from behind after that.
Right. And here's the thing, like, what is this Titans team? Do they figure it out early and they're strong early in the season? Or is it one of those things where they get stronger and get stronger and get stronger? Because we have seen that under Vrabel where they get better. So I don't necessarily love you're done with Indy in your division by October 31st. The first game is 9/26.
I'm with you. That's one of the things that I noticed when I looked at the schedule is like it gets – you pick up the 2 games in a situation like that if you win. And you may be in a situation where you need that later in the season, right? So you don't want to be coming from behind. You want to play from ahead. The other thing I noticed, all of the rookie quarterbacks are on the schedule.
Yeah.
Right? So,
which is I think it's kind of fun. I don't know if necessarily as a franchise you want that, right?
Right. Well, I mean, it'll be fun. From a fan perspective, I mean, you've got Trevor Lawrence twice, right? You've got Zach Wilson with the Jets in Game 4. Trey Lance, I think, will probably might be the quarterback for the 49ers by the time they play them. And Mac Jones could get the job from Cam Newton by the time they play the Patriots. So that's interesting. And when you dive deeper, listen to the quarterbacks they're playing this year. And maybe this is why they switched it all up on defense because they, obviously you didn't know on rookies, but you knew those teams were drafting quarterbacks. Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Matt Stafford, Mac Jones, Big Ben, Trey Lance, Tua. I mean, you're going down a quarterback gauntlet there. Potentially. Now, you got a lot of young guys in there that you can mess with, maybe? I don't know.
Let's talk about how many young guys end up working out because percentages aren't that great.
That's true.
So some of them are going to be bad.
And maybe you catch them before they get it.
Exactly.
So maybe that's good too. 615-737-1045 if you want in. That's 615-737-1045. I think James in Nashville wants to hit on a little UT basketball. We went down that road a little bit. James, you're first up today. What's going on, man?
First, I want to just give a shout-out to the mayor of Jolton and let him know I've got my second shot now, so you can come have a drink with me at Sidelines in Pleasant View now. I'm back out. I wanted to get that off my chest, first of all.
Okay.
Secondly, I just wanted to tell Ron Slay, personally, you have been one of my favorite. You and Chris Lofton, probably my favorite 2 UT basketball players that I've been watching since '78 as a little kid. I love the bandana. I love the swag. I love what you brought. But I got a couple of questions for you. I can't remember exactly. Were you on the 99-2000 team that lost to North Carolina in the tournament?
Yes, I was, and I hope your phone cut out because you opened up a wound. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say this. That was to me again. I know I want all y'all's opinions when I hang up, but I thought those teams, those Jerry Green teams, the late '90s and early 2000s, there was a lot of talent on that team. I mean, Vincent Yarborough, Tony Harris. I mean, to me, it's still one of the, in my mind. I mean, I know we had great teams with Dale Ellis and Tony White in the early '80s. Reggie Johnson, but I thought those teams in the early 2000s, late 90s were pretty doggone good, and I don't remember what happened and why Jerry Green left. Did he get fired? Did he leave on his own? And I'll hang up and just hear a little feedback or Ron on what you think. Babs, you guys can please chime in on what you think about those teams versus some of Rick Barnes and Bruce Pearl's teams. Thanks for taking the time to take my call. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. I tell you what, that's a debate that goes on and on, when we all get together as far as Bruce Pearl's teams with the guys like Duke Cruz, Tyler Smith, all those guys, Chris Lofton, Juwan, and then even with the teams that Coach Barnes has with Admiral, Grant Williams, Kyle Alexander, Bone, all of those guys. My thing is, man, the team that we had 99-2000, dog, it was different. We had a lottery pick that couldn't even get on the floor in Marcus Hayslip.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
You guys felt like you should have won that.
Yeah, we should have.
Yeah.
And the team that got there to play for the national title was Florida. They played Michigan State, and we knew we could battle with Michigan State, and we swept Florida that year. So, they were just as deep. If it was a team to compare, maybe it would be Florida. But you looking at it, man, you got McDonald's All-Americans, guys that are number one in the nation coming out of high school. You got McDonald's All-Americans, and then you got all SEC performers and Tony Harris. The only one that didn't get a lot of recognition but was a stabilizer was John Higgins. Outside of that, everybody was all SEC guys. So, yeah, I definitely thought we should have won more than just the SEC title. But, it goes like that, and North Carolina had our number thanks to Ed Cota. I always say, though, real quick, Brandon Haywood, if he never fouls out of the game, we win that game handedly. Once Brandon Haywood fouled out the game, their whole strategy changed, and they put the ball in Ed Cota's hand, and he just took over. So that was tough. But thanks for opening up that wound. I hope I answered your question.
Well,
call anytime.
And you're a huge fan, and you always have been. You mentioned those Bruce Pearl team. That team he had that got to number one in the country.
Oh, dude, they was
remember that Memphis
loaded.
Game, 1 versus 2 in Memphis?
Oh, my goodness, man.
Where were you watching that game?
I was overseas watching that game, and I was up. I think it came on at 9, so it was like 3 or 4 in the morning in Italy at that time. Dude, I was up and glued to the tube. So that was super exciting. Plus, a lot of guys that come from Memphis and things like that, you meet them overseas. The basketball community, sports period, is a small circle of people, and you meet them everywhere. So there was a lot of trash talking going on for that.
I love it. 615-737-1045 at 3HL 1045 on Twitter. You can get us there. Let's go next to Calvin in Cheatham County. Wants to talk about the Titans schedule. Calvin, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, Calvin?
What's up, Brent? Thanks for taking my call, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm almost home from work. I had the same reaction as y'all, man, when that schedule came out. It looks very tough, but this is the first year that I got season tickets, so I'm super pumped. I've always been a 49er fan. That's kind of in my family, so the fact that we play them on Christmas, that's going to be a banger. But me and my brother-in-law, we went to a road game last year for the first time when we played Cincy, so I'm thinking we might keep that tradition this year. What, in y'all's opinion, what's a funner road atmosphere, Pittsburgh or Indianapolis? And I'll hang up. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.
Pittsburgh.
I would say Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Hands down, ain't no question. If you want to go to a game, whether that be baseball or whatever, you want to go to where the culture that franchise has on that city is all about them. And Pittsburgh is that place over Indianapolis to me.
Yeah, I agree. And outside of football, by the way, I think Pittsburgh is actually
pretty cool city.
It gets a bad rap.
I've never been there.
Yeah,
I've never
I think
been there.
it's really a cool city, honestly.
I have been to Indy. I haven't been to a game at Indy, but we went to cover the playoff run, so we did shows up there that week from a mall over there. And I remember you could kind of walk around downtown Indianapolis without really going outside, which was cool. But
yeah, it's great when it's cold.
But the atmospheres, though, so for me, I heard, I think it was on Buck Show today, they were talking about, what was the toughest atmosphere, the most challenging atmosphere, Kansas City or Baltimore. And, we were at both. Kansas City is an intimidating atmosphere, but the people are so freaking nice.
Right.
It's such a different flow. Mm-hmm. They're loud, and you can kind of feel the history and all that stuff when you're at the old Arrowhead Stadium.
You could, at least back when we were there, you could also feel the crowd basically just waiting for the second half collapse.
That's true. And that Mariota year that happened. The Baltimore thing, that's a whole different thing, man. Those people are ready to cut you. I'm telling you.
That's
Baltimore.
But that's
being
what I was
nice.
gonna say, Hunk.
That's being nice.
Now listen, man.
That's the most intimidating atmosphere ever, and the Titans handled it and did their thing. And
Damn, the atmosphere, Brent. The city. Like, let's not sugarcoat it here. Like, I remember when I was driving the trucks, dude. I rode through Baltimore. I was leaving Pittsburgh. I called Ramon and said, "Hey, dude, I don't know if you ever been up here, but I'm a big fan of The Wire, the series. They used to come on back in the day. It was based out of Baltimore. Dude, that doesn't do it any justice. Like, I'm at the red light, head on a swivel. Like, it just felt different, man. I'm telling you, Baltimore. I
was pregnant at that game, and I was legit worried about my safety sitting in the stands.
I'm telling you.
Legit worried.
they cut off alcohol sales at halftime.
That let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were asking a cop about that at halftime. He's like, you don't. And he was like, y'all are dressed like this. You don't want these guys drinking beer into the second half.
Hey, man.
Like, there's
Especially
a reason
if
we
you
cut it
win.
off
Right.
at halftime.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. A lot of times when you go to these cities, sometimes the team doesn't take on they don't represent that fabric of what the city is. Baltimore does. Oakland does. Pittsburgh does. I think Nashville is growing into that also. The players represent the fabric of what's going on in the city. So
I totally agree with that. Workmanlike attitude and all
Right.
that. It really matches up. 615-737-1045. Again, broadcasting live. Twin Creeks Marina. Check them out. TwinCreeksTN.com. Unbelievable place down here. And you can escape the everyday and have a lot of fun out here. We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone. I don't know. The next question from Robin Roberts should have been, and for those that don't know, Bobby Brown was being interviewed by Robin Roberts, and he went into a story about how he had sexual relations with a ghost. I'm not just.
When?
I told you.
What just happened?
I told you.
Were you laughing about the ghost? Did something happen?
No, this was. It never fails. It never ever fails.
They're dry rub wings.
But
how do you spill like sauce on yourself with dry rub wings?
I had the quesadillas, and I got a side of A1, and then I got a side of Hans 57 on one side.
There's a problem.
It never fails, man. I'm telling you.
The marketing rep for Twin Creeks walked up during the break and said, "Hey, you guys need anything?" It's like, he goes, "Yeah, could you hand me that Heinz 57 sauce over there off that table?"
I'm a sauce guy, man. I don't know what to say.
So now it's all over you.
Dude, it never fails. Like, this is amazing. Now I was trying to be careful. You just told me a minute ago I spilled ranch on me a minute ago. So now I got ranch and Heinz 57. When I was little, I used to would take my shirt instead of wiping it. Or just suck it off. That's how much I love sauce.
Okay.
No, do that. Do that right now. Do it.
No, I'm grown now, Hunk. I act like an adult.
Speaking of Joe Hunk, Joe Hunk was invited to the party last night, as was Ramon Foster, by the way.
Yep. Ramon just said I'm on the bike.
Joe had trouble.
A little bit of trouble.
With this whole gas thing. So Dawn was pretty smart the other day. She looked around for gas for a minute, and what'd you go, like four or five stops, and nobody had gas, so you just took the car home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I'm done driving for a minute. I'm just let this thing play itself
I told you boys, hey, I'm going to have to ride with one of you to Twin Creeks because I don't have gas.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All these people bought it all up, and my gas tank is close to E.
Meanwhile, you filled up in White Bluff, right, when you were taking care of your
speeding ticket.
Unfortunate ticket situation.
With the goat.
Trying to get past the goats. White Bluff, Tennessee, they have goats. Just crossing the baby goats. Just crossing the street at will. Like, it's. I wonder what if you. Never mind.
Let's not digress.
I'm not.
Hold on. Let's focus here. Let's focus.
What if you turn one up into a speed bump?
See, that's why Babs. That's why I'm telling you. If you ain't here, I'm telling you, it's over. You can't pull it back.
Yeah, but I just go right past her.
Hey man,
she's the person on the team, like the basketball team, that's like slow it down, but I have the ball.
You throwing the alley oop from half court.
She's like, I just told y'all to slow down.
Ball selling out of bounds. Coach calling timeout.
What if you run over a goat?
Nightmare.
I don't think anything happens to you if you run over a goat.
But isn't it something like when you run over ducks and stuff at parks? There's something supposed to happen, like a swan or a duck. Like, that's a fine or something.
You can't kill snakes in Tennessee.
You can't kill snakes?
You can't kill snakes?
You can't. No, because a buddy of mine, allegedly.
Unless your life is threatened.
Dude, we used to hunt them when I used to live in Chattanooga when I was a little kid.
I'll tell you, if the snake
garden
had gas
snakes
last night, I would have killed it instantly.
Yeah, so Joe Hunk actually ran out of gas.
Yeah, like walking.
Which is really hard to do, I think, in an electric car.
Yeah, that's what I didn't understand, huh?
I didn't either.
Okay, so what happened again last night? I was making my way there. The light came on at low. I was
making my way downtown.
I've got to find gas. I went to probably 15 gas stations. No gas. So exactly, Brent, I looked up the charging stations through Nashville. I went to 7 of them, all of them out of order. Every one of them were out of order. I was like, look, I'll just
wait.
How can that be possible?
Nashville
That's like a
needs to
shortage
be
of
better.
wings.
So the charging stations got hacked too?
Yes. So what happened is, and I would call, like they had a number. If you need assistance, call. I called, and she goes, "Oh, well, thank you for letting us know. We'll make sure to put it on the app that this is unavailable." I'm like, that doesn't help me.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't help me at all. So today I found out there was a gas station 3 miles from the hotel where I'm staying at. That's where I can go. I got a mile and a half. And then dead right there on the highway. Now I got lucky because when I turned off the road, I literally stopped beside a yard sale. And you want to know what they had on the very front of their yard?
A gas can?
Tank. Gas cans. The picture I sent you was a gas can that I bought at the yard sale a mile and a half away from the gas station.
Wait, number one, who has a yard sale on Wednesday night?
This is the craziest thing.
What in the world going on?
During the week, during the school week.
Kirby's got a comment for you, Joe Hunk.
Okay.
What you get for buying an electric car.
No, seriously. Like, here's what's bad. I thought the charger was in the back. I found a spot to park. I was going to plug my car in. I thought I was good. Nope, left it at the house.
And you got all kinds of problems, bro.
I did. And I will say, I did get gas. And I do want to say thank you to a guy named Chad. He is listening. He picked me up on the way back and drove me the rest of the way to my car.
See, Ron repeatedly asked you.
Thank you, Bear. Talk to him, man. Talk to him.
He repeatedly asked you if you needed him to come pick you up.
Yep. And they even put brother on it.
I was only a mile away. I was only a mile away. So I'm walking. I've got 3.5 gallons of gas in my little container. And he's like, hey, you want me to help you out? And I was like, bro, okay, if you can. Like, look, guys, I'm a Virgo. I'm going to do everything independently. I'm going to do it all on my own. I wasn't looking for a ride. He just happened to be there.
You shouldn't have accepted it. You should have told him, man, look, man, my partner, man, my co-host, man, he just said, do I need a ride? I told him no 4 times. So listen, dude, I'm going to just stick with that. Just go on about your business. I'm straight.
I'll tell you, when I got to my car, Chad prayed over me. So would you have done that, Ron?
I most definitely would. I prayed before you took off walking with that gas can because you don't know what they. Yeah, I don't know what they're selling at these yard sales, man. Man, just to think if you would have bought that gasoline can and they sold it and they had a little leak in the bottom, you would have leaked it all the way back to your car. You wouldn't have had nothing in it.
That place,
and then you'd have blown up like that guy in Florida.
Yeah, that was my fear, and my hand still smells like gas.
Yeah, it's hard to get it off.
It is. It sure is.
Welcome to Nashville, Joe Hunk.
Yeah, there you go.
You've already left your mark.
By the way, all of you out there that were hoarding gas and topping off your tank, look what you just did to our guy Joe.
Exactly.
Yes.
I
tried so hard. I wanted to get on social media and be like, screw all y'all that hoarded gas. I was so close. I just kept my
that guy in that Hummer in Florida took a hit.
Yes, he did.
He had 4 of those things in the back of his, and then he lit up a cigarette. This is what people from Florida do. He just lit up a cigarette and then blew his car up.
Really?
Hummer.
Can't cure stupid. Can't cure it. Seriously, I thought it was a joke. Can't cure
I thought you were being funny too. Like what? I got to go look this up.
Gator hater, Bama basher. Y'all act like Don Davenport's a yellow light, using caution at first, but mash that gas and tote that ass once you get used to her.
We got
3HL 1045 is over. We'll be right back. when you're at the lake, things take a little longer. You know what I mean? Brent Thornton on Davenport, Ron Slade. This is 3HL. We are
4
at
o'clock, baby.
Tim's Ford Lake, yes. And we're having a great time, man. Twin Creeks Marina. Very, very cool. They've got a lot of wedding business they're doing down here, man. And the weddings are booked completely this year. But if you want in on 2022, 2023,
now is the time.
no question.
Their venues are really cool, too.
Full-service marina
Really
here.
cool.
Home of the Jungle Boat floating trampoline.
Cannonball at your own risk.
I want to say that we had a tweet from one of our beloved listeners that was encouraging one Ron Slay to maybe do something.
Oh, really?
I'm all in for that. Hey,
Here
by
it
the way, they
is.
do have event space open during the week. It's just the weekends that's booked. So if you want to get married
Perfect.
during the week.
Perfect. Yes, that's good information. Nashville's Hidden Lake Getaway in Winchester, Tennessee on Timms Ford Lake. New slips. They've got home sites. They've got cottages they are building. Will be done this summer, right on the water with
Really
docks.
cool.
Yeah, really, and boat slips. Really, really cool. You can rent anything that you would rent at a marina. And it's absolutely
Right?
beautiful.
Kayaks, boats, whatever you would
You ever rent
at
something
a
at a marina?
marina.
By the way, they've got like
Carps.
ginormous carps.
We fed some.
You fed some.
Yeah.
You want them
You
to be
went
bigger.
and got carp food
Yeah, out
and
of the
fed
yeah.
it to them.
I paid a quarter for it too. I kind of expected a little more, and then I put a nickel in, 2 dimes. The dimes. Now this backpack I'm carrying came with me from Italy, so it's been toting a lot of stuff.
You found some stuff.
I found some euro in there. You thought it was a gyro. Brent thought I was walking around with a gyro in my bag, just randomly in my bag. You think that's far-fetched, Babs? Because you're looking like that's not far-fetched.
You keep
Babs, we're on
condiments.
great terms, Babs. We're sharing wings and banana peppers.
I know.
You keep
So now
condiments
we're
in your
even.
glove box.
You had a bottle of salad dressing in your glove box. Like
did.
I'm not overlooking anything here.
I wish you guys could have seen me come
I'm
to
putting
dinners
anything past you.
overseas. I had like 4 different sauces. I should have had a fanny pack of sauces. Like,
What can you do with those euros?
Nothing now.
And throw them at the carp?
I wish I would. They don't deserve that.
RJ from Phoenix. I'll donate $100 to the Ron Slay Foundation if Ron jumps in the lake off the trampoline.
Ooh.
Callers Andy up for a good cause. How much will it take at Ron Slay 35?
Now, I tell you what, this summer.
He keeps shaking his head. Look at him.
It's too cold.
He can't
it's too
handle
cold,
it.
dude.
It's too cold. He
It's
can't
too
handle
cold.
it.
It's super.
$100.
Babs, why would you do that, Babs? That he can't handle it, because that would make me go do it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying,
I know.
like, yeah.
I know. He's scared.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, this summer we're going to do something live from somewhere where there's water around. I don't know where it is. Could be a little kiddie pool. Could be a dunk booth. I'm all for dunk booths and talking trash.
Well, we know we can't include Buck since he can't swim.
Buck can't swim?
No.
I guess.
Buck cannot swim.
I ain't even going to throw that out there. Big dog, I ain't even going to throw that out there.
So does that take him out of the dunk booth too? Because Buck would be great in a dunk
He
tank.
sure would. He may be. I don't know. Buck is only about 5'8". That's all you, Buck. 5'11" on a good given day. See, Will, I got you. Don't you worry about anything. I told you. That's what I told Caleb Farley, man. Just play. I got you, man. I'll do all your trash talking for you.
Speaking of Caleb Farley, he has signed his deal 4 years. I don't have the money in front of me. 13.5.
0.5.
Yep.
Over
Yeah.
13 million.
Yep.
Fully guaranteed.
3DC.
So we'll see if he gets to the 5th-year option. Why am I already thinking about that?
Like, wow.
I mean, you hope he gets to it and you want to pick it up and you want to negotiate a new deal before you have to pay the 5th-year option. But you hope that he's that kind of player that you get to that point, right?
I got to say, man, it seems like John Robinson's salary technique here is I'm not paying that 5th-year option. I'm going to go get some younger dudes.
I don't necessarily blame him.
No.
I mean,
if you're going to pay the quarterback and the running back,
Yep.
and you're about to have to pay A.J. Brown whatever the hell he wants.
Yep. Now, part of my argument is that now A.J. Brown's one of them, but part of my argument is that there are a few draft picks that it's an easy no on the 5th-year option, right? They haven't done and turned into the players where you absolutely have to keep them.
Right.
Like an A.J. Brown.
Conklin was a debate.
Right.
Corey Davis, there's no way you do it.
Nope.
Rashaan Evans, there's no way you do it. So, yeah, I mean, that's where you are. They've also signed the offensive tackle out of North Dakota State. Radence has signed
5 of their draft picks or something.
Des Fitzpatrick, the wide receiver out of Louisville, who we had on the show last week, has signed. McMath and Breeze have signed. Racy McMath. That's my favorite name. I want that guy to be so good, so bad. I said the other day, it sounds like a character in Picture Pages from back in the day. Racy McMath. He's going to teach you how to divide when you're in the 2nd grade.
It's like the character that they developed to make you love math.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Speed math. He's going to teach you how to be fast.
Yes.
They've
Titans also
yeah, go ahead.
I think we're going to say the same thing. They also agreed to terms with all of their undrafted free agents, 10 of them that will be around. So rookie minicamp starts tomorrow.
Yep, they're in town today. So, yeah, that starts up tomorrow, which is good.
All we heard from those guys, too, all of them said, can't wait to get started. So, rookie minicamp should be fun, especially a year away from doing a year left out of no preseason or anything. This should be good.
I love how the NFL does it also with allowing the rookies the opportunity to come before the vets are there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we know yes, and your eyes are big, and we know that. So let's get you a little bit acclimated to the situation.
Yeah, this is
to being a pro because it's different.
It is totally different, and everything you thought you did, working up to be that All-American or that high draft pick, none of that. I promise, none of that means anything. Now you start from scratch. You got to go earn everything, earn all you keep.
I love it. Let's go to John in the Borough next up at 615-737-1045. Hey, John, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? You know, a couple segments back, Ron talked about opening up a wound with that Tennessee-North Carolina game. Man, y'all had to open up a wound with that Memphis and Tennessee game. Jeez.
Sorry, brother.
What I wanted to ask the guys was, I wanted to ask you guys what you guys thought of, what's your favorite away game this coming season, just from a tourist perspective? Like, what city are you excited to go see? What city are you excited to hang out in? All that kind of stuff.
Dude, I would love to go to the Seattle game in week 2. I've never been to the Pacific Northwest, but that's on my list for sure.
I love Seattle. Every time I've gone to Seattle, it hasn't rained at all. It's been beautiful. It's amazing.
We get more rain than they do.
Well,
really?
Yeah, Nashville
keep on stomping me with that. You hit me with the Knoxville one. I'm
the best weatherman in Sports Talk Radio.
Yes, you are.
Knoxville gets more rain than Nashville, and we both get more rain than Seattle.
Babs doesn't agree.
I don't know. I don't know about all that. But anyway, every time I go,
know.
I'm there.
Don't question me.
Don't you question the weatherman?
Let me Google it. I'll get back to you. No, I'm always there for like 3-4 days, like tops, right? And I'm always like, I want to move here. I love it here. This city's awesome. And then those around me are like rain.
Yeah,
a
lot
depressing.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind going to Seattle either. I want to see that 12th man. I want to see them live and in effect. So,
me, no doubt, it's at the LA Rams.
Oh, yes.
I mean, just from the experience, the
you went all Barry White
stadium.
there.
Because I would see.
Oh, yeah.
I love LA, man.
Yeah, that's a Sunday night game, so that would be fun. On top of it, don't you want to see that stadium?
You got me thinking about yeah. Hey, I tell you what. Yes, I would. I think the zone somebody got to get us out there. 3HL has to be out there because I got a taco spot out there, Worldwide Tacos.
You in the restaurant.
Yeah, you got us covered everywhere.
Worldwide Tacos.
Oh, boy.
Fish tacos out there, right?
Man, every kind of taco. They got like over 100 different tacos. And they are phenomenal.
SoFi Stadium.
Euro tacos.
By the way, is not just I can't imagine the you talk about food. I can't imagine what the food's going to look like in that stadium.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have a club.
Yeah,
dude,
they have a club in the like a legit club atmosphere that if you want to go clubbing.
So they took
on a Sunday
piece from
night.
the Great Western Forum from the Lakers days back in the day. You know, they had a club.
Yeah,
so,
I would like
dope.
I would like
it's in the
that
same parking lot, isn't it?
Yeah, probably so.
Forum. Yeah.
Yep. It is. It was in the same building. I forgot the name of it, but you walked out of the locker room, go into the building. Go into the club. So
Vegas is about to do it. Did you see that? Like high-end
I
club,
saw that sweet, like
behind the end zone.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
with two
crazy.
DJs.
That's kind of crazy.
Bottle service.
That's what I was going to say next.
I heard a story yesterday about the Ron Slay bottle service.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. Babs, where were you doing that story? That was my guy. My guy was just there.
Ron was
I
in the
wasn't
club.
there for the bottle service.
Yeah, you missed that one.
Ron was in the club, and
Maybe
I'll
we'll have
cut
to
it short.
Tell that one next break.
Oh yeah, we do need to break. I'll cut it short. Ron had a bottle of something in one side of his coat and a bottle of something in the other side of his coat, just sitting there.
That's the bottle service.
Yeah, that was my own bottle service.
By the way, before we take this break, and then we'll get back to your phone calls about the schedule, 615-737-1045. The importance of starting hot, too, for the Titans, we need to talk about. Knoxville, 50.3 inches of rain per year, 127 days of rainfall. More than Nashville at 49.2 inches per year at 119.6 days. And more than Seattle at 38 inches of rain per year. The problem with Seattle is 155 days. So less rain, more days.
I don't care about the quantity. It's the days.
Every day, yeah.
That's depressing. Days by 30? What?
155.
Auburn math. 155 minus what?
35.4.
Thank you. Okay.
Days.
You never want to go to Finland.
See? That's why you can't live in Seattle.
Yeah. And then, Greenland snowy, Iceland green.
Yeah.
Weird. All right, we'll be right back. You never know what you're going to get for 3HL, and neither do we. We'll be right back.
It's kind of like, when you do the pedicure. Have you ever done the pedicure, Babs, when they have the little feet, the minnows? You know what I was talking about, Hunk. Listen to Hunk. Hunk is in touch with himself.
He's got mohawks and minnows.
I never did it either, but I'm just saying.
Where the fish eat your dead skin off your feet?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm out.
So I got.
There's some people that we work with that have done it. I know that.
Yeah,
Hey,
the Hunk.
don't Google the kind of diseases and bacteria and all that you can get from that. Don't do it.
From what? From those.
From that pedicure.
From the. Wait a minute.
Google image it.
No, because see,
The
I'm a pedicure.
fish-eating pedicure.
Okay, yeah. I'm staying away from that anyway. I was just saying. I was going to say, wait, the pedicure?
No, the fish eating pedicure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was, for the longest, I ran around with the dragon claws while I was a player.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't start doing pedicures about 6 or 7 years ago.
Dude, you got to do it while you're playing.
I know.
You got to take care of your
That's
feet.
what I said while I was doing it. While I was retired, I was like, dude, why wasn't I doing this?
Plus, you were in Europe. I thought they did that in Europe every day.
They did. I just
Not slave.
play video games.
Got your hair cut bad. No pedicure.
I had to play video games, man. That's what I was on.
Hey, the numbers are out for the new Titans, including the draft pick. So Caleb Farley, the defensive back in the first round, number 23, paying homage to the Hitman. I like it.
Yeah. Pulled you off. Hitman, you got to be a fan of him now. You got to be.
Listen, Caleb Farley, you gonna put on that number 23. You better bring it.
Yes, you can't be afraid to put your face in that fan. I know that because the Hitman coming downhill. But you gotta be able to do it. You gotta be able to do it now.
Facing the fan.
Facing the fan. Don't care about it chopping your nose off.
Dylan Radence, number 75.
Okay.
Monty Rice, number 56. Elijah Molden, number 24. Des Fitzpatrick, number 10. Here we go. Getting closer to that single digit.
Trying to figure how I feel about the receiver running out there with 10.
Kirby says no. Kirby just randomly sitting over there drinking his Pepsi, looking at the water, and just starts shaking his head no.
No.
I don't know. There's been some bad number 10s on this team, though. I mean, I love Jake Locker, but
I always forget the numbers.
Wasn't Locker 10?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Wasn't
you're
VY 10?
He was. VY threw his whole uniform into the stands one time.
10.
Remember that?
Yeah, shoulder
I
pads.
think he hit Kathy McLaughlin. Randomly call people out. I think that's true.
That may be.
I think he threw his uniform into the stands.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was like shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helmet, everything.
I mean, who gets shoulder pads?
like that's got to be cool.
That's a good prize.
I'm taking it.
You're just going to mount those things on the
Yeah,
wall.
that's probably a hell of a fine, too.
Yeah. Because it's a fine. You got to pay for the football when you throw the football.
Well, you get fined beyond that, too. Like A.J. Brown threw it as far as he could. And got, what did he get, like $5,000 on that?
Golly, that's an expensive ball. That is tough.
Everybody used to want your headband, right?
Yep. And the funny, I guess you taking that at your own sweaty headband, like ain't no advisory sticker come with this. When I just fling, I used to do it like this overseas, and they got on me in France because I was more the wine and cheese bougie crowd.
Bougie Babs.
Yeah. Nope. See, I didn't say yo. Babs. He tried to, Babs. I will not let him drive a wedge between us.
She's the yellow light, remember?
I just right. I just still got to yield.
But sometimes you got to stop at the yellow light.
Yes, you do. Depending on the watch.
Slow down.
If it's going to turn red before you get through that intersection,
you got to be cool.
You got to be stopped. Rashad Weaver, number 99. I like that.
Yeah,
99
I like that.
coming off the
I
edge.
like that. Yeah, I like that right there.
Now he's got to get through the court thing. Isn't that funny? Like, I've already forgotten about it.
It was that fast.
Somebody asked me last night, like,
That's
has
not
that
good.
Has that gone away? And I'm like, you know how the news cycle works these days, right, wrong, or indifferent. You got the big story that everybody tees off on, and then once the next big story happens, then
As quick as we forgot about A-Rod.
Now, the thing about it from Rashad Weaver's perspective is, had he not had that quote, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but it's in the police report that he said, sometimes a girl deserves to be hit.
Yeah.
No, I would.
That's the thing.
I would hit a girl if she deserved it.
Yeah,
That's
there
it.
you go, Bab.
If he didn't have that, if he'd have just left without saying that,
could have
I
skated
think
a
he'd
little easily.
already been through it again, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right.
Because then it's a he said, she said, witness said. And two witnesses are saying two different things
Exactly.
anyway.
Completely opposite things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
But then you make that comment to the officer
That's right.
afterwards.
Oh, what? Yeah. Wait a minute.
81, Racy McMath.
Love 81. Love all 80s. All 80s.
Brady Breeze, number 33. That's Griff.
That's
Mike Griff.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Michael Griffin.
That's an interesting one.
33 is like a running back, typically.
Mm-hmm. But I can see him being a rover on the defense, just roaming around.
See, now that guy's ready to jump in the water.
Yeah, see, he know what it's about.
He's got a whole bag with him, coat,
yeah,
sweatpants.
There you go. Yeah, man.
He's ready to jump in the water.
Thumbs up, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Do you think any of that will fit you?
I don't know. If he got something in that bag that I can change into, I'm jumping in the water.
Oh, jeez.
I'm telling you right now.
Some random guy.
I'm telling you right now. The baby, he's going over there to the baby. The baby trusts him. I trust him too.
The baby, the rapper's here? Boy, wouldn't that be something?
You can't script this.
Fred Brown, remember him?
Yeah.
Wide receiver they signed, 82.
Like 80s.
That stays in your deal.
Yep, I love 80s. That 10 is, and then now that Babs put that icing on top of the cake with 10, I'm not sure if we don't need to, maybe, can we get Dez back on the show?
Yeah, tell him he needs to change it.
I got to put him back in the boom boom room real quick.
Des was good.
Yeah, Dez was really good.
Here's a look at some of the numbers that were previously assigned to new Titans last month. Josh Reynolds, number 18.
Calvin Ridley, I think, is Calvin Ridley 18? 18
You don't like 18 for
No,
a
I
receiver.
don't like those teens and the receivers. No, nope. I'm cool with 1 or 2 or something like that. Let's go on and get single digit if we're going to do that.
I'm with you. Janoris Jackrabbit Jenkins. This is the Titans website. Put Jackrabbit Jenkins on there. I like it.
Made him respect it. Put some respect on my name.
Number 20.
Cool.
So
Cool.
you
No
got
single
23
digits.
and 20. No single digits.
Nobody's jumping in that water.
Kevin Johnson, 30. The long snapper, Morgan Cox, 46.
You know what?
Bud Dupree, 48.
Like that. What was he, 43 in Pittsburgh? No, that was Troy.
I don't remember.
He was 48.
He was 48 in
Yep.
Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
48 is kind of a weird number.
It is.
48 to me is like walk-on linebacker. Like in college.
I can
Yeah.
see that, yeah.
Somebody wanted 48 to the
take
walk-on linebacker.
Take his jersey number. Yeah. Just give me anything. You know,
Danico Autry, number 96.
love it.
Big guy on defense, got to be 9.
9-6 and 9-8 side by side with 99 coming off the edge. Here comes 48. Hey, man, I tell you what. You know why nobody's doing this single-digit number? Because you got to be a dog to wear a single digit.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen nobody that's not a dog wear a single digit. Like, you better be a number 2 or a number 1. Ooh, you better deliver.
Dupree was a single digit in college.
What? Dog.
2,
Dog.
I think.
It's probably right. Used to seeing dogs with that number. Just telling you. Like,
What number were you when you played football?
88. Michael
No.
Irvin, baby.
I can't see
I was
88.
the playmaker, baby. I was
88? Listen to you.
Playmaker, man. Yeah, 88, man.
Look at Babs.
I
Like she's in
love
disbelief
Irvin,
over
man.
here.
I love Michael Irvin. I loved him.
What position did you play?
Wide receiver.
I thought you were like a
What
tight
about
end on the other side of.
defensively?
More like a wide receiver.
Oh, okay.
He's about 185.
He was one of those.
Yeah.
You were 285?
About 6'5", 6'4", 185. We're gonna have Coach Fitzgerald on tomorrow. You talking about now? You'll be able to dig on him, Babs. He got plenty of stories for you. I wonder if he'll tell the story when I told him, the old Oklahoma drill.
Yeah.
We used to call it the Malibu because it was a teen club in Nashville called the Malibu. We used to all go to.
Really?
Yeah, so we used to say, man, it's time to get ready for the Malibu, and everybody would gather around. And I remember I used to kind of duck off in the back because I really wasn't with, like, let's run up against each other. That seemed kind of silly to me, because especially when I'm playing wide receiver, and I wasn't with no hits like
You
that.
really didn't want to hit people
There you
or
go.
get hit.
And that's what he
is
said. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what he said. So my thing was, I told him when we went home, hey, Coach, man, my grandmama said I can't do that drill like that when we run into each other. He said, oh, yeah? Okay, I got you. Next day of practice, he called me and my Coach Pump, your guy, Brent. He called me and Pump to get in the middle.
Michael
Claybrooks. He said, man, get in the middle. Ron Slay and Pump, let's go. When I got in there, I was so nervous that I hit him wrong. So I saw him go low. I went lower, and we both kind of like speared like rams. and he hurt his back. He was out for about 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh, no.
Well, and I never had to get back in there again. And he only put me in there because I told him my grandmama said I couldn't get in there.
And he knew you were lying?
He told me, no, he told me tell my, I kind of was lying. But he told me tell my grandmama, tell your grandmama I told you get in there.
He's
my
like,
grandmama
bring
gonna
it.
say that. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's Coach Fitzgerald.
Okay, for those that are new to Nashville who don't know who Coach
Legendary
Fitzgerald
Coach
is,
Fitzgerald, public
He's
school,
like the
back
high
to
school
back.
football, public school icon.
If we get to talk about Mount Rushmore,
just retired.
High school, you got to put him on there.
Yeah.
Hands down, ain't no question. Was at Pearl Cone, turned it into like a lean on me experience. He turned that program around, brought West Nashville, North Nashville together, which wasn't seeing eye to eye at the time. Brought it together, brought the community together, and the rest is history. Back-to-back state championships, coached John Henderson, Santonio Beard that went to Alabama, Buck Fitzgerald went to University of Tennessee, Reggie Ridley. Seen a lot of guys go to college, sent a lot of guys, and then went back to Hillsborough and Stratford, and then finished up to Hillsborough. So just retired.
And just finished up.
Just finished up. Can't believe it. Yep.
Deep voice, too. Big, tall guy.
Yeah.
You
Now
would
he got
think,
a
like,
beard.
intimidating. I wasn't ever around him, obviously, in a football scenario outside of talking about his team on the sideline. He's not worked up at that point. But he did get worked up. Hillsborough was playing CPA, and I was doing that game, and, he was losing it over there.
Brent, you talking about some stories and some motivational speeches. Run through a wall for him. Hands down, ain't no question about it. I'm talking about he's going to get you ready. He's going to get you ready. So can't wait to dive into him a little bit tomorrow.
Let's go to Bam in Nashville, 615-737-1045 at 3HL 1045 on Twitter. Bam, what's up?
Is this Bam Bam Bigelow?
Yo, Bam.
Dropping him.
He's there. Joe Hunk's dropping him. Let's go to Bob in Columbia. Has a bull in the ring story. Bob, what's up?
Yeah, hey, Bob here in Columbia. We talked the other day. Hey, folks, keep up the great work. We used to call that bull in the ring, and you never knew where it was coming from, and you better be ready.
Yeah.
So, anyway, bull in the ring. So I thought I'd throw that out. I'll let you go. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it, Bob. That was pretty cool. Now, the bull in the ring and what I'm describing, though, is two different things.
Yeah.
Bull in the ring is when you're in the ring and you're surrounded by the rest of the players.
Anybody can come at you.
He called that number, and they charging in. Right, 35, and he might be behind you on your left side, and they come in, you got to turn around, take him on like it's that. Now, that's a little bit of torture. What I was saying was...
Yeah, I think some of these things have been taken out of the
bull
game.
of the ring. Yeah, you had to do that when you got in trouble. Santonio Beard was in the bull of the ring a lot with us. So, yeah. But
I used to talk to him quite a bit during recruiting.
That's my guy,
really,
bro.
really smart guy.
Nothing like him.
He enjoyed the recruiting process.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did every bit of it.
Yeah, I love talking to him.
But the Malibu at Oklahoma drill, that's two guys on the opposite end. One has the ball, the other one doesn't, and you got to tackle them. When they say set, you're about 3 steps away from each other, and then you go at it. So.
And there's a blocker, too, usually.
Yeah, blocker,
you got to go through the blocker and get to the blocker.
Mono e
Oklahoma
mono.
drill.
Yeah, Oklahoma drill, yep.
There we go.
Yeah, we call it the Malibu. Going to the Mally.
Why'd you call it the Malibu?
Because that was the club for a teenage club that we used to go to.
That's what he said earlier.
In my high school days.
I've been dealing with some other stuff, but yeah, go ahead.
My teenage
Greg
years.
Cosell's coming on at 5:20.
Yeah, teenage years. That's what we used to go to. And it just always be a fight in there. So we used to be
because I
it's
was
Malibu.
I was taken aback that there was a teenage club in Nashville.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was the thing. So you had Oasis. You had Malibu.
Kirby used to talk about all these things on a different radio station.
Oasis was over there in Metro Center before Metro Center.
So they just don't serve alcohol? You just go and drink?
That's it.
Go and dance?
Yeah, you can go and drink too. All kind of little Pepsis and Sprites and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you're in there dancing
Okay.
and, talking to people, trying to get phone numbers.
Oh, okay.
I could just see you just with that undershirt on, just sweating.
That was the thing, boy. Woo, yeah. Those are the days, boy. Those were the days. They used to have teen night. That's the name of it, Babs. Teen night.
Okay.
Used to have teen night on Saturdays.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they took the alcohol out.
Yeah.
Mr. Caples, RIP, Club Malibu, best club ever. In
I'm
all
telling
caps.
you, it was serious. It was serious. Yeah, and you better be aware going in there because you'll get knocked out going into Malibu, going with the wrong intentions.
615-737-1045. When you look at the schedule, I was mentioning this earlier, you you look at that top three, the first three games, you better start quick, man. Arizona, at Seattle, Indy. If you don't watch yourself, you could be 0-3 right there.
Yeah, you don't want to be. Because we talked about those 5 games that's coming up after the exhibitions against Jacksonville and I believe Houston. Somebody really gets real.
Somebody asked earlier, what road game do you want to go to? Maybe that Jets game at New York. I'm in. Stay in Manhattan. Are they open yet?
You
No, I
love
don't think
that.
so.
You
I love Manhattan.
love it. I don't know why.
I can't stand New York.
Why? Who wants to go to the Jets game? Like, that's the game that you pick on this schedule.
Jets fans don't even want to go to the Jets game.
Seriously, I literally would pick almost every single other game.
But that one, huh?
But I told you
But
I
the
would go
Jets.
play for the Jets so I could live in a penthouse in New York.
That's true. Drop your boy Pruitt a text.
I
Tell him
love
you're
the
coming to
city. I
town.
love Chicago too, but it's just not as big. Central Park is my favorite place on the planet.
Chicago too cold or too windy for me, man.
Well, you don't go in the winter.
Yeah.
It's very nice in the spring and
It
summer.
I heard
get
that.
cold in June after a rain. Yes.
Yeah.
See,
Jets. I'm going to the Jets game.
I ain't going.
Who's
to the Jets
coming?
game.
Will Bowling's going with me.
Will's going anywhere.
Don Davenport. Why do you hate New York so bad?
I'm out.
I'm
You
with
don't like
Babs.
people.
I'm with Babs. I want L.A.
I don't like people. No.
L.A. Seattle,
I'm kidding.
Pittsburgh.
I love
for
all
me.
people. L.A., Seattle, Pittsburgh for you. Yeah. I'm.
I love all those.
L.A.
venues.
is definitely number one for me.
So
I'm
are we
okay with
going?
Seattle.
Are we going? Are we going to the game?
Oh
I
yeah,
would
let's
love
make
to.
it happen.
Yep.
Cousin Justin on Twitter, best place to mend a broken teenage heart was Grand Central Station.
Oh,
Central
I do.
Station.
I do
Yeah.
remember the talks about that. Yep.
We've gotten 2 or 3 calls about a place called Mardi Gras. Where is that at?
I don't remember
Mardi Gras.
Apparently,
Was that
Kirby
downtown?
remembers. He just goes
Yeah, he's
Mardi
a Mardi
Gras.
Gras. Yeah, like, ooh, I had some times down there.
Can't forget the Mix Factory, man,
Oh, the
fun
Mix
as hell.
Factory. Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to start rolling through all these clubs, that was a different time in Nashville.
Yeah, it
Outer
definitely
Limits?
was. Outer Limits. Yep.
Don't forget the Castle.
The Castle. Oh, Castle. The Castle was right over there, across from where.
I love
Yeah.
it. All right, coming up at 5
And
o'clock.
if you're new to Nashville, you're like, what in the
None
world?
None of these places exist.
No, Rivergate Skating Rink is the only thing you're gonna find.
They're
That was
all
the
in
park.
our brain,
Yep.
somewhere in the back. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Ryan Johansen, Joey, Preds forward, will join us,
100
and Greg Cosell at 5:20. We'll talk through some of the scheduling and draft picks and things like that. And 5:45, Jayson Swain. So busy show. Appreciate you being with us. Broadcasting live from Twin Creeks Marina. They've got the Twin Creeks Village as well, home sites, new slips, twincreekstn.com. They've got all the information there. Nashville's hidden lake getaway in Winchester, Tennessee on Thames Fort Lake, a little more than an hour from Nashville, and you're in heaven. We'll be right back.
in the building, too.
We're on a floating building.
Yeah. We're on a float building. That's a lot right there.
Twin Creeks Marina. This place is awesome, man. It's it looks brand spanking new. It's so freaking clean.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And you've got, like, the biggest carp you've ever seen right outside the restaurant here, thanks to Ron Slay feeding them.
I'm going to feed them again.
And then you got the jungle boat over there.
Yep.
Where you can jump off of many different kinds of there's trampolines on the second level, aren't there?
Yes, they are. And they got X's on them where if you hit this spot, I guess you get the highest bounce. You can get more bounce for your ounce. Like that. They got slides on it and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's really relaxing, but what I like is it's also kid friendly. So you come in and have a great time.
You used to not be a lake guy. I'm not a huge lake guy, but I do enjoy like the little relaxation boat ride there. Which maybe have a couple brews.
Oh, no. A lot of brews.
Let somebody else drive me around.
Got to let somebody else drive because we're going to be brewed up in the back. Dive off in the water, come back. You know one thing I figured out about lakes, though?
What did you figure out about lakes?
When you jump it.
I'm really anxious to hear this.
When you finally get in the water, you never want to get out.
Is that true?
I think so. It is for me. It could be just me.
You ever jump in a lake and, like, find a car?
Find a car in the lake?
Sometimes.
Hey, man, I just always scared something else going to nibble on me. And it ain't gonna be the carps or something. Ain't no telling what's out here for real. Like, it's wild.
But
this looks really, really good.
Oh,
like,
it's
like
really
this is diving,
incredible. All jokes aside.
Hey, oh no, it's a speedboat. Jet skis. That's the only thing I haven't seen. I'll go get on the jet ski right now, fully clothed.
Ooh.
Do donuts.
Fully clothed.
Do donuts in a jet ski.
I would not because this wind.
It's freezing ain't it, right here. But guess what though, Babs? It's just this spot. If we go over to the front, it's not a wind blowing.
I know.
For some reason.
Thanks, Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby, why'd you set us right here in the breezeway?
Right here in the freaking
You set us up right here in the breezeway, man.
Like, look, I got my papers are everywhere.
I'm a masochist, and I just decided to watch you guys suffer for 4 hours.
I love it. Look, man,
I'm having a blast.
It's mind over matter, Dawn. Don't let your environment affect you.
Yeah,
No.
you're an athlete.
What?
Babs.
That's bunk. No. No.
Be stronger than your environment,
No.
Dawn Devin.
No, that's ridiculous.
Just
No.
over an hour from Nashville. Nashville's Hidden Lake Getaway, located in Winchester, Tennessee. Tim's Ford Lake, TwinCreeksTN.com. You can check them out there, and we would recommend. I'm having fun watching these guys enjoy the weather, drinking a cold beer.
You know what?
Day drinking. As Will Bowling said one day, it's day drinking degrees.
It's Dre Digger. Yeah, I like to see Will fried. You know what, Brent? We knew.
Will looks like a tennis player. I told him it looks like he just got off the court and whooped Djokovic's ass.
You know what I want to know, man? We already knew the schedule. We didn't know the schedule. We knew the opponents that we were going to be facing. And I don't think, and I feel this way a little bit too, I don't think I was really nervous about the opponents. Like, I was all cool. But now that the schedule has come out, like, I'm seeing a lot of people in our feed saying, ooh, I'm really nervous about this schedule.
Why were we not nervous before but are nervous now? Because I'm the same way.
We knew who it was.
When they laid it out, I'm like, wait a minute. Arizona at Seattle and Indy in the first 3 games? Good Lord.
Right. It's something different about it, man.
It's also in how it's all put together, too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you legit could be 0-3 right there.
Yes. And you fall behind, boy, with this type of schedule. Yeesh.
What were the Titans, like 7-2 in one-score games last year or something like that? But you need to start fast. That way you get to the Jets game. Look, you start 2-1.
Right.
You get to that Jets game at 3-1, at Jacksonville 4-1. You want me to just go down the list here? Buffalo's going to be pissed because of what happened last year with the whole COVID thing and moving the game, and then they got their ass whooped all over the field twice.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be pissed. So
that's not good.
Where am I? 3-1, 4-1, 4-2. Kansas City here. You say 4-3, but last time they blocked a field goal and beat Kansas City.
Right.
In Nissan Stadium.
The Titans, I never have a problem of them getting up for the big game.
They do.
Over years, they get up and handle business for the big game. It's the games that we start to expect them to handle that they somehow kind of let it slip through their fingers.
Right. And it makes no sense to go through the schedule and come up with a record because everything changes between now and then, but I'm going to do it anyway. 4-3 at Indy. I think you're going to split the Indy games, and so So I gave them a win earlier. I'll give them a loss there. 4-4.
4-4.
At L.A., that's the trip that scares you. Mm-hmm. Although we all want to go.
No, we're going to go. Somehow we're going to go.
I'll tell you this. We go on that trip, we're not losing by 30.
No. We better not. We better not.
Oh, I'm saying the three of us are not going to lose
That's
that
what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
We better not. So, you are exactly right. And I would like to just throw out there, I did pick them as a early favorite to go represent the NFC. In
the Rams?
Yep.
Like the Rams?
I like them representing
All right.
the Super Bowl.
Matt Stafford. All right, so 4-5. Saints, I'll give them a win on the Saints. Short week, long road trip.
What if A-Rod goes there?
5-5. Saints with 5.
What if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Saints? Loss.
It makes you wonder, though, because look at the Saints. They have 5 primetime games in their schedule.
Guess who has 6? The Dallas freaking Cowboys.
Of course they do. They're the Cowboys.
That's amazing. Man.
But can we not go back to the Saints having 5? You don't even know who's going to be their quarterback.
Exactly.
Like Drew Brees is gone. And they have 5 primetime games. Like, do the schedule makers know more than
maybe they
we
do? Maybe they do. Maybe. Maybe
the Packers did sign. Who did they sign? Blake Bortles or Blaine Gabbert? And I get those two guys confused.
I said that yesterday. I legit said that yesterday. It was
They're the
Gabbert.
same guy to me.
Yeah. It was. I'm sorry. It was Bortles. It was Bortles, and Bortles has just as many playoff wins right now as Aaron Rodgers does.
And that's wild.
I'm sorry. Last year.
Yeah, that's still wild.
Yeah.
I forget where I am.
No, you're right here. We're at LA. You're
2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4. 4-5, 5-5. I'm at Houston.
Yeah,
6-5.
Hurry up, 6.
At the Patriots, winner.
Chicken
7-5.
I like it. 7-5.
Jacksonville, winner. 8-5. At Pittsburgh, Ramon Foster. Hear me when I say this. Winner. 9-5.
9-5. I like
San Francisco, rookie quarterback by then. 10-5. Miami, they're going to lose one game they shouldn't. 10-6. At Houston, 11-6. I got them 11-6. But at one point, they were like 5-5 in my schedule.
Yeah, I can see that. I agree with you all the way, but I would swap one, and that probably would be either New England or Pittsburgh for that Dolphins game. I think the Dolphins, man, every time going towards the end of the season these last couple of years, man, always start to get it rolling.
17-point underdog at New England and beat them.
And they
in the last game.
Man.
A couple years ago.
Florida's doing a great job.
We need to take a break. We got to get busy. We've got Ryan Johansen coming up. We've got Greg Cosell coming up. We've got Jayson Swain coming up, all in the 5 o'clock hour next on 104.5 The Zone.
The 2021
Buddy
Yes, it is.
And Tennessee kicker Jeff Hall.
Yes, it is.
TwinCreeksTN.com. We'll tell you more about them as we roll on, but we got to talk about the Predators because now it's playoff time.
Whoa,
Nothing else matters, like Metallica told us. Ryan Johansen joins us now. Joey, what is up, man? How are you?
I'm good, guys. How you doing?
We're good. So is that where we are? You just erased the regular season and now it's on? Is that kind of the mentality?
That's basically it.
Yeah.
You work all year to get in the playoff spot, and now you're here. So all that matters is right now and in the moment in game one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you hear it around this time everywhere. You know, there's nothing like playoff hockey. What is it besides the obvious? You know, it's survive and advance. But what is it that makes it different on the ice? What is it that makes playoff hockey playoff hockey?
Well, I think there's a bunch of things, but probably the first thing that comes to my mind is it's a best of 7. That's a lot of hockey playing the same team. And I know this year has been different because there's only 8 teams in our division, but on a normal year and still this year, when you have it's possible to play the same team 7 times in a row, it just seems like no matter what, every time you play an organization in playoffs, it turns into a rivalry for years to come. And it's just, everything intensifies. Everything's on the line now.
Well, you could play this team 9 times in a row. That's the funny part of that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a crazy finish to the year. Interesting way to start playoffs, yeah.
Listen, how much of a mental grind is it talking about playoff hockey? Because, like, we get off the show, and I'm glad that I live in Franklin because I have, like, 35 minutes to kind of decompress from what we did for 3 hours. But I'm just talking about cracking jokes on the radio. How mentally grinding is playoff hockey? I mean, just shift to shift, game to game, period to period, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's in any team sport, it's, you know, every little play, every little moment throughout a series matters so much.
Yeah.
You never want to let a teammate down or anything like that. So your focus just intensifies, and your attention to detail is you're so zoned in, and you know, you just try and play mistake-free hockey, which is darn near impossible when there's 10 guys skating around on the ice. But yeah, it's just all the little details that you practice and work on and try to execute as best you can throughout the season. Is, you know, you get to the point now in playoffs in game one where you got to go out there and try and execute perfect games to beat teams, because the teams you're playing are at a very high level and usually a very good team, which we are facing in Carolina. So.
Yep.
Joey, y'all are facing a very good team, but you are on a very good team yourself, man. Tell me about what the fans mean to you guys when they're packed in the stone and being loud in the atmosphere they create. Because I'm going to be honest, man, I'm one of them dudes that's up there like I'm at a frat house or something, man, taking the beers down, cheering y'all on. I'm trying to go hoarse. You know what I mean? I know y'all can't hear me, but it's like y'all can hear me. So tell me what it's like for you guys with the fans, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I was talking about it this morning with some of the media, and you know, this season has been an absolute mental grind. I've never gone through anything like this in my life, where mentally I've had to. You got to wake up every day and tell yourself, you know, stay focused, stay whatever, and without fans, that's what's made it so hard. And just these last few games here that we've played at Bridgestone and having a good amount of our fans back in the rink, that's taken, in my opinion, I don't know if other guys are different, but I'm sure they're the same as me. That's taken the mental grind out of it for me. And it's so much more fun, and you're so much more energized playing in front of your fans, and especially ours. You know, you could see that the last 2 games we hadn't beat Carolina all year long, and we handled them pretty well in back-to-back games, and you know, so that I'm excited. I'm super pumped to just be out there and with our atmosphere and using that to our advantage.
At Ryan Johansen 19 on Twitter. I'm glad you went that direction because I don't think people can comprehend kind of what, and I don't either asking the question, but what you guys went through this year because you dug a severe hole at the beginning of the season, and to find a way to climb out of that and really go night and day in terms of the hockey product that was on the ice. I don't think it could be understated how difficult that must have been to get done.
Yeah, as a group, we know what we've achieved here to get ourselves back into contention, give ourselves a chance to play for the Stanley Cup. And I wish that we got a little more credit as a group for what we've done, just from, an outside standpoint. Because, at the start of the year, there's a question mark about our team and where we're at, and then we slump and everyone's just bashing us, and now we've clawed back in. We came back from a crazy position with our injuries and where we were in the standings to now beating the best teams in the league and in a playoff spot. These last couple of weeks have been a very kind of just a proud moment of one another and how we've stuck beside each other's side. And this is such a hard league, and any sport is, but, to dig out of the hole we did and have all of our guys stepping up throughout this time in the second half, we've had a lot of fun, man. And now to have fans back and us be, contributing and playing the way we are right now, it's been a lot of fun as of late.
So what was the difference?
I don't know.
Joey, you gotta always be honest.
I love it. I mean, it's probably a list of things, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you could put your finger on one thing, but kind of what I just said is, while we were going through that slump, one of my teammates said, he's like, this is where real character comes out, is when things aren't good. And I kind of remember him saying that.
I love that.
I was like, as an older guy, he's damn right. It's like, this is where your leaders and your older players can really flourish and turn things around. And that just kind of stuck with me when he said that. And that's exactly what our team did. We showed our true character and our true, just traits about who we are as individuals and how we didn't just roll over and die. We stuck to it, and we kept sticking by one another and going out and competing for each other each and every night. And I'm proud of our group and how we dug out of that, and now we get to go out and have some fun in playoffs.
Man, most definitely, Joey. And I like to commend you guys, man, the character that you all showed, been being written off early in the season and to where you are now, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, you got a fan in me, and I'm definitely cheering you guys on. And if you see a guy with his stomach on the glass with funneling a beer at the game, that'll be me.
Yeah, you want 6'8", former SEC basketball player of the year with his gut on the glass.
Yeah, and I'm welcoming you to body check a guy against the glass for me, and I'm gonna put my belly on, and we're gonna make a little sandwich out of him. So I'm ready for it.
I'm gonna be looking for you. That's
They got to get me down there by the glass, man. I'm up top right now. Get me down there.
I love it, Joe. Hey, man, thanks for the time, brother. Appreciate you, and good luck coming up game 1 on Monday. Thanks,
Most definitely. Go get them.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right, Ryan Johansen, Preds Forward. When we come back, we'll switch back to football. Greg Cosell, nobody better. Nobody better. Breaking down tape. We'll talk NFL football with Greg Cosell next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. With my mind on my money and my money on the lake.
Hey, money is on the lake. That is correct.
Twin Creeks, man. This place is awesome. You want to talk about chill? I'm completely chilled the heck out right now.
Man, I'm talking about make you kick your legs up, man. Get all the way as relaxed. And look at those fine cups of golden joy sitting on the tables for people to enjoy.
I thought you were talking about the water.
I thought you were talking about
the water.
this beautiful sunset. You're talking about beer.
Yeah,
drafts and watercrafts, man.
It looked great to me.
It's seriously, it's gotten more beautiful out here as the day has gone on. So.
Ambiance is beautiful.
Yeah, check out all they have to offer, twincreekstn.com. They've got event space. They've got wedding opportunities. They've got cottages that they are constructing that will be done this summer.
Yes,
that are right on the water.
Waterside cottages coming in June and July. And I know the early ones are going to have 4 bedrooms. You can rent those, and it comes with its own boat slip and all of that. You can rent a boat for that. I mean, I'm in. By the way, right near those cottages, this is so dorky me, by the way. I get it.
Here we go. I have no idea what's about to happen right now.
There's a 175-year-old tree, like right behind the cottage.
A magnolia tree, I think. Yeah.
Beautiful.
175 years old.
How fun is that?
Yeah, you can renew your vows at that tree.
I could. Mr. Babs will be so excited that you said that, I'm sure. Yeehaw.
How long have you been married now?
Coming 2 years.
Ooh, might as well renew
them early.
Yeah, deep in the game.
Maybe Slade could get married over by that tree.
With a 175-year-old tree. Mm-hmm.
He's not.
Just went right on by him.
He's not interested. Not interested.
I am.
We met Slade's lady last night. Love her.
Yes,
she is super sweet.
Greg Cosell joins us now. We're going to talk some NFL stuff with Greg. Greg, what's up? How are you, man?
175 years, huh? That's about how old I feel when it gets to be about week 10 of the NFL season.
I figured that's how old you would feel after breaking down draft videos for so long.
Well, yeah, that's kind of true, too. But so do you guys have the Titans record all figured out based on their schedule?
I mean,
people have to do that.
It's literally,
of course.
It's so dumb to do that, but yeah, I did it.
Yeah, of course. You know, it's funny because, I'm looking at the schedule because I'm talking to you guys, but I don't even look at the schedule usually until like the first week in August. So I don't know what the league schedule is. I mean, I'm just looking at the Titans for obvious reasons. But I don't know what the schedules are right now.
I was going to ask you that, like how much that plays into you. I mean, if you look forward to certain matchups of players that you've broken down or of draft, some of the rookies, if you say, oh, I can't wait to see this guy on the field, I was wondering if you even pay any attention.
The only way that I do look at the schedule to some degree is because and this just speaks to my total lunacy and what I do. But, I have a lot of vacation time, which I'll be starting to take beginning in about, a month. And I have an awful lot this year accrued. So since I'm not really going anywhere and, I can't sit at home and read for 10 hours a day or watch streaming shows for 10 hours a day, I actually end up watching tape a lot during my vacation. So
of course you do.
I watch, stuff I need to watch for, the early part of the season.
Nice vacation,
like,
Cosell.
for instance, my guess is we would do the Titans-Cardinals game week 1.
Yeah.
So, I'll probably go back and watch some Kyler Murray. I'll watch, the Titans will be a little different only because we don't know exactly what Todd Downing will do relative to Arthur Smith. So, that's a game where we might focus more on the Cardinals offense because it's the same staff.
Can you pull from some of these preseason games? Or can you get anything out of them?
Use preseason just because, the only time we use preseason is, and it could well be the case this year, is if we decide, and that will be a conversation that myself, Sal Powell, and Matt Bowen have, whether we feel like we need to see Trevor Lawrence week 1, or do we want to see him, play an actual NFL game first before we take a look at Trevor Lawrence. I'm usually a believer that I want to see him in a real game first as opposed to a preseason game, but, that's a discussion we have.
So how vanilla are teams in the preseason? Like when you watch preseason film, how vanilla is that?
To me, and I'm not saying this to be funny, I don't put any value in preseason at all as far as what we do with matchup, because we're dealing with schemes. We're not. I don't want to just say, wow, here's a nice throw by Trevor Lawrence. We know he can make good throws. I mean, he's the number one pick in the draft. So, I don't want to do a piece that says, wow, he made a really nice throw here on this dig ball. I don't want to do that. And we're not going to know what the Urban Meyer offense, if it is indeed his offense. I know he has 2 NFL experienced guys, I believe, Darrell Bevell and Schottenheimer, Brian Schottenheimer on staff. So, we don't even know whose offense technically going to be, once they start the regular season.
Greg Cosell with us on 3HL. Greg, that is an interesting matchup. And looking at schedules is one thing, but looking at week 1, I think certainly Titans fans are going to pay attention to that because that's the one where they'll count down to it and all of those things. But I think it's an interesting matchup, right, with a team they don't normally face, with Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, and what does A.J. Green in that mix look like, and J.J. Watt on defense. They were pretty good last year, but looks like at least on paper they've upgraded.
Yeah, and I mean, they've been trying to upgrade their defense because last year they drafted Isaiah Simmons with the top 10 pick.
Yep.
This year with Zaven Collins, the linebacker from Tulsa, who they pretty much said is going to be the Mike linebacker, and Jordan Hicks is now available for trade. So they've really tried to upgrade the defense. And, of course, Chandler Jones will be back. So they're a tough team defensively with a veteran coordinator, Vance Joseph. Offensively, they'll be interesting. Kyler Murray is a fascinating player to me because he's a very tough guy to defend because of the movement ability, but he really hasn't developed yet into a consistent passer. And it's the movement ability, of course, that gives you a problem. I mean, I remember I had a great conversation with Dean Pease last summer talking about quarterbacks that can move, and he made the point that with those kinds of quarterbacks, there's 2 parts to defense. There's the first 2 seconds and then what happens after. And that's the issue you face with quarterbacks that can move. So even though he hasn't really become consistent yet as a pocket quarterback, he certainly can hurt you with his movement ability.
Greg, since you talked about that, I know we're going to be looking at our defense as a whole, but we're looking at that matchup versus Arizona. Who would you be watching particularly as far as the pass rush, or would you be watching the secondary, knowing that both are going to be on fire?
About their defense?
Our defense as the Titans,
defense?
yep.
Titans defense.
Titans defense.
Well, I think that's a game because of who they're playing against. And it's interesting that they play 2 quarterbacks back-to-back, week 1 and week 2, that you have to be concerned about their movement ability. So I think the pass rush ends up being, Ron, a little more of a disciplined, what they often call in the old days, a mush rush, where you're not just going all out because you don't want your outside rushers to run past the quarterback to create a lane. You want your inside rushers to really push without pushing too much because they're short quarterbacks.
Right.
So you want them to be in a situation with inside pressure where Murray and then Russell Wilson the following week can't see, because there are times it's clear from tape study that there are times they just can't see, and they break down when they normally would not break down because they can't see. And when you can't see, you end up moving because that time gets short. So there's and I don't know what they'll do now defensively without Coach Pease there, but he would at times use a spy. Teams do that with quarterbacks like Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson. There's different philosophies as to the value of that because someone like Kyler Murray, he can just outrun a spy. He's just too fast. There's no spy you could put out there that is necessarily going to prevent him from getting outside and beating the spy if he runs. So, there's different philosophies as to whether that's valuable or you're just wasting a player.
Wow, I'm glad you went that direction because I immediately started thinking about Bud Dupree wanting to justify that money and getting after the quarterback, and he's going to have to be careful in those first 2 games, right, to not get past the quarterback.
Yeah, the biggest issue you face is when it gets to be 3rd down. We all know that when it gets to be 3rd and 9, we all feel pretty good about the defense, but these guys can run. And the last thing you want to have happen is when it's 3rd and 9 and the quarterback runs for 15 yards. That's the last thing you want.
Cosell,
can I just plays in games.
Can I tell you, you say we all feel pretty good about 3rd and 9, like for the defense. You do realize you're talking to Titans fans, right? After last year, I'm not sure if Titans fans feel good about 3rd and 9.
You know, I was speaking kind of philosophically, though.
I just started chuckling when you said it.
3rd and 9, you feel pretty good about it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 for the Titans has been like 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
It's not 3rd and long.
I know. I was like, oh, Greg.
No, and again, I'm not being sarcastic, but we all know that in long yardage situations, obviously the two most important things for a defense are pass rush and coverage. And I don't think you'd be saying anything out of school to say that the Titans didn't really have either one of those last year.
Yeah.
100%. Yep.
You know, it's funny.
100%.
Like the one thing that we noticed a couple of things, obviously, with the schedule coming out. Everybody in every NFL market is breaking down their team schedule and things like that. But one of the things that stood out to me is kind of the path that we went down is the quarterbacks that the Titans will face and the range of quarterback. And they're probably going to hit. Well, they are hitting Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and maybe by the time they play San Francisco, Trey Lance, maybe Mac Jones in New England. They might get all 4 of those rookie quarterbacks.
Well, they're going to have an interesting stretch of games. I'm looking at the schedule, so let's put aside Wilson and Lawrence week 4 and 5 for the moment because we simply don't know what they're going to be. We can't assume they'll be great players right off the bat. But then they've got a stretch here of Bills, Chiefs, Colts, Rams, Saints, Texans, and we have no idea about Deshaun Watson, and then Patriots later in the season. Patriots, we don't know at that point who'd be playing, but that stretch, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, we're not sure what Wentz is, but he is highly capable of being great. Stafford, Saints are an intriguing team now, but their schedule, again, this is based solely on what we think the teams will be. That's a pretty tough stretch of games. Now, they do get the Bills and Chiefs at home, so we'll see how it goes.
Greg Cosell with us at Greg Cosell. You mentioned the Saints. What if Aaron Rodgers ends up on the Saints roster? What do they look like?
I imagine they'd be pretty good, Brett, don't you think?
I imagine they'd be terrifying, Greg.
Was that a trick question? I mean, with Sean Payton there and with, what he does offensively, and who knows how that's going to play out, but there's no reason to believe that Aaron Rodgers is declining in any way. I thought he had his best year last year in a number of years, just playing with discipline, throwing from the pocket, playing with high-level efficiency. So Aaron Rodgers, to me, looks like he could play for 5 more years.
Did you notice a decline in his game before last year? And then, like, kind of a pop-back-up situation?
I wouldn't use the word decline. I would say that he was – and, again, I've talked to a coach that was on the staff of Green Bay for years who said he is the smartest player he's ever been around. And sometimes I felt, and I don't know this, so this is just me kind of spitballing here, I sometimes felt Aaron Rodgers just went out there and played and did whatever he wanted because he knew he could kind of do whatever he wanted. And then last year I thought he really played efficiently within the structure of the offense. And and to me that always makes you a better player because that's the way offense is taught and coached. So it wasn't that he was declining. I think that he was playing a little loose.
So you kind of mentioned the gauntlet of quarterbacks and all of that the Titans will face, and obviously we don't know what these teams are going to look like. But along the veteran game declining conversation, Big Ben obviously on that list. So with his tape, where have you seen kind of the biggest decline for him?
Well, I don't think he moves anywhere near as well. I think, Ben was always an interesting guy to me, and I've talked to people about him because this is what I have always seen on tape. I thought Ben was a guy that was more of a finesse thrower than a power thrower, but could muscle it up at times. I think he's not quite that same guy. I think much of his game was built on what we call late in the down throws, where he would just stay in the pocket and he'd move a little bit and he'd sort of get rid of people because he was a big oak tree. I don't think he's quite the same. They got into a bit of a quandary last year. They got into a situation where they were asking him to drop back by choice 45, 50 times. I think they came to an understanding, probably with a number of come to Jesus off-season meetings, that they can't do that, and that's why they drafted Najee Harris in the first round. Because you don't draft Najee Harris. Look, you guys are an SEC country. You don't draft Najee Harris to give him the ball 7 times a game. He's a volume runner. He's a power back. He's a sustaining back. He's a tempo setter. So I think they've come to the realization that their offense cannot look the same, and that Ben will not be dropping back 35, 40, 45 times a game by choice.
Greg, is it fair to say, with Ryan Tannehill, this season hinges on him? We always talk about Derrick Henry and what we expect him to do and him being the foundation of this. But don't you agree that Tannehill has to have that same performance of last year or take another step forward as far as pushing this Titans team over the edge, regardless of whoever we get for him to as far as getting weapons?
Well, it's funny you say that, Ron. Then I think it gets into offensive philosophy and game planning because ultimately you're going to give the ball to Derrick Henry. It's not as if this offense will dramatically change. But then you get into games. Look, when they played Baltimore in the playoffs last year, if I'm not mistaken, did they only score 13 points? Is that correct?
Yes.
I think they didn't score a lot. You get into those kinds of games against better defenses, and you have to be careful, and this is just my opinion. I'm not saying I know more than any of these coordinators, but you have to be careful about presenting yourself as somewhat one-dimensional. Because the goal is to create explosive plays. When you play good defenses, you're not likely to sustain offense the way you do against lesser defenses. So you have to find a way to create explosive plays, and percentage-wise, explosive plays come out of the pass game more than the run game. No matter how great Derrick Henry is, that's just the reality of life. So then it comes down to your approach, your game planning, your play calling in those kinds of bigger games. I think Tannehill's played extremely well the last 2 years, since he's become the starting quarterback. But I'll be very curious to see, and it may be hard to know initially, but how Todd Downing is different than Arthur Smith.
Great stuff, Greg, man. I appreciate the move to 520 today. That's on me. I appreciate that. And we love visiting with you. Thank you very much.
Oh, appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
All right.
Thanks, Greg.
Greg Cosell, at Greg Cosell on Twitter. When we come back, we'll dive into some Tennessee topics, volunteer topics with Jayson Swain, former Tennessee wide receiver, now the CEO of SwainEvent.com, live from Twin Creeks Marina, TwinCreeksTN.com, he said. Getting crowded on this floating restaurant. We'll be right back. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. golf cart crossing and everything. Like people run around their golf carts. They've got 500 home sites that are all sold out. But
you can rent like townhomes out here though, or Airbnb them.
And I think they said they're extending this, right? Like they just
more boat slips. Yeah. Yep. And
I have the list somewhere.
You can rent you a pontoon out here.
Going out and
relax.
Heavy
this place is awesome.
It is.
Like I'm in.
Jayson Swain's a big outdoor guy.
I wonder would Swain do a cannonball off the
I bet he would.
Straight off the
Ron Slay might not, but I bet this VFL we got on the phone has enough guts to do it.
I wish it was 90 degrees. Swain event, would you do it?
What we doing? What we doing?
Doing a cannonball. They have a boat set up out here.
It's the jungle
slides.
boat.
Yeah, it's
floating trampoline.
Boat. Would you do a cannonball off there?
Hell yeah, man.
Would you do it right now when it's about 65 degrees
That's the question.
With a little breeze.
That breeze.
Because Ron Slay is scared and he will not do it.
I'm scared of the cold.
I saw someone said they would give $100 to Slay's charity if he would do it. I'm willing to match that. I'll do it too.
There's a third person. There's a third person that matched it too. So we're now at $300. Me and Brent will match it too.
It's not just the cold water, like getting in. Like there'll be a little shock there, but you'll get used to it. It's getting out.
Yeah, and then sitting right here.
$500 now.
Yeah, that's now $5. Swain, you're the best. Good job. Put the pressure on him.
Will Bowling, $600. To the yet-to-be launched Ron Slay Foundation.
No, it's launched.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
this is a major
501c3 and everything. It's locked and loaded. Hey, Swain, this is what I'm telling you, dog.
My freshman year, we hazed, and part of our hazing was getting dumped in the ice tub. And Slade, you knew, man. You're the new guy on the team. So this can be your hazing. You got to jump in the water.
Guess what? That's right. And the funny thing is, I love ice tubs. So this is not an ice tub out here. And I'm not with walking back up this hill with a breeze hitting.
I mean, Ron Slay, you wouldn't go very far down because you'd hit all these 50-pound carp that we're looking at.
Yeah, exactly. They come nibbling on me. They're already eating everything else. Swain, nah. Wait till the summer. I'm on then, baby. I'm on. Let's let that carry over to the summer. Carry that bet over to the summer. We're rocking.
We'll see.
I'm writing it down.
Jason, you headed over to Lindsey Nelson Stadium this weekend with all those crazy people. 100% capacity for number one Arkansas. I love it.
I don't have a.
You broke up. You don't have a ticket?
No, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to checker Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Swain, what you think about that?
I think it's awesome. I think Tennessee has one of the most unique traditions in all of athletics. I think we should use checkerboard more. Put more checkerboard on uniforms. Do more checker stadiums. Do it all. I don't have a ticket, but if I tell people that Brent and that last name says a lot of weight around here, that might be a good ticket.
Yeah, I thought that would help me out in school, Can that C become a B? No. That's awesome. Hey, Tennessee trying to become a baseball school, Swain.
Hey, just win. I don't care. Just win at something. And let's just have fun. Let's just win. Let's do it. That's all I care about. I don't even like baseball, to be honest, guys. But, I'm over here, focused on baseball, learning more about the game. Because Tennessee is winning, and our fans have been awesome supporting Father Vitello. It's been really cool to see.
Jayson Swain with us at Swain Event on Twitter. SwainEvent.com is the website. Check him out there.
Swain, let's switch to football, man. We got a transfer who originates from here, Hillsborough High School, with Firebird running through his veins. Javante Payton transferring from Mississippi State up to Tennessee. What's your take on him, man? New guy coming into the wide receiver room who's played in the SEC already.
Well, I know the previous staff wanted to add Javante Payton because he's a burner. He can run. He's a 4.4 guy. I know the staff before wanted to add speed, and Javante Payton would have added that a couple of years ago. But now they have an opportunity to bring him in and add more speed to a group that. Speed was brought in a couple of years ago. So, Tennessee has a chance to roll out 3 wide receivers that all run either low 4.4s or better. And speed is some things that you just can't teach. You can't teach and develop speed sometimes. You either have it or you don't. And so Tennessee is adding guys at the receiver position to have it.
That is true. Can't teach speed. Another transfer, I don't think we have had a chance to talk to you about this yet. I can't remember, but former Texas linebacker Juwan Mitchell transferred to Tennessee. What do you know about his game? What are you hearing about him?
He's a tackle machine. He's a little bit better in space than, some of the guys we had before. I mean, not trying to throw any shade or anything, but, when it comes to, pass coverage at the linebacker position, we haven't been necessarily great at that. I think Juwan Mitchell is a little bit better than that. He's a culture guy. You're going to bring somebody in that isn't afraid to challenge guys and is going to do things the right way. And I think that's the most important thing on top of bringing in talent is bringing in guys into the program that understands what it takes to lead from the front of the line, that's going to do the right things when the coaches are looking and when the coaches are not looking. Super, super important for Josh Heupel, building the culture the right way. And you're doing that with a guy like Juwan Mitchell.
Is it concerning a guy like that who, they've got Sark, a brand new coaching staff coming in at Texas, and concerning at all that he leaves that and that opportunity and kind of that talk there? No,
I mean, you don't know him like that. It's simple as that. I mean, sometimes when somebody makes a comment to you, you look at them sideways, and you're like, wait a minute. You can't say that because I don't know you like that, man. And, like, Juwan Mitchell, he just doesn't know Sark. Sark is a hot-name coach right now. He's coming from Bama, won a championship. But it just doesn't matter. I remember when, Tennessee had a linebacker that was committed to Michigan at the time for Brady Hoke. And then Jim Harbaugh takes over the job. Jim Harbaugh competes in the Super Bowl. And you would think that those Michigan recruits would stay in Michigan. But no, he didn't. He decommitted from Michigan and decided to come to Tennessee. And so it just goes to show you that it's about relationships. And Juwan Mitchell doesn't know Sark. He doesn't know him like that. So he has a relationship with some of the folks here at Tennessee. It was a great fit, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play.
Great stuff, Swain, man. We'll check in with you next week. We'll see what happens in that baseball series this weekend. Appreciate you.
Hey, thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Jayson Swain, at Swain Event on Twitter, swainevent.com, the website. Our thanks to the fine people here at Twin Creeks Marina. Treated us great. They'll treat you great as well. Great atmosphere, man, at the
Beautiful.
Drafts and Watercrafts floating restaurant here on the lake, and big crowd, too.
My husband just said, do we have a lake house yet? I'm working on it.
I was thinking about it, man. I mean, you come out here and you think about it. It's so
do.
beautiful.
Cannonball Central for me.
All right, that's going to happen this summer. Pine Creek Golf Course for the Buddy Allen Golf Tournament tomorrow. That's where we'll be. Buck Rising, I think, and Blaine and Mickey also maybe out there as well. I'm not sure, but we'll see you there, and we'll talk with you on the radio. It's Friday. Later.